Hope this is bright enough. The sun, there's such odd weather outside today. Like in the distance, there's so many clouds, and then the clouds just end. Like, you know those videos where the ocean is like divided between Pacific and Atlantic, and there's this like line, and one side is kind of a muddy brown green, and the other side is like a deep crystal blue. It's like that exact same perforation, but in the sky. And I know it's gonna fuck with my lighting, so I literally put like my stand light up to kind of mimic the sunlight. Even though I don't need a light when it's sunny, but you know, with our luck, like what happened with the dishwasher last night, give it like 4 minutes and the sun's gonna go back and I'm gonna have to be adjusting the ND filter like this. But whatever. So I'm trying to get into the habit of, I guess I did it yesterday and a couple days before, but I also just had something in my head. But I'm trying to get in the habit of just living my life, doing my work, and then just simply pressing record and just being. Not having anything in particular to say, but just being. Because part of why I'm doing this is because I think that I have a part. I think many people have a part that believes in performance for connection. Yeah, very bright. Maybe it might help if I put this on this side. I don't know. Fuck. There's not much I could do, guys. This is what we're gonna do. And so what do I mean by that? Performance is connection. Performance being that feeling in a social context or interpersonal context or relational context or interview context or piano recital or going on a first date or just being social with people or making a new friend or just, how about just simply being in the world, or in this case just performing, like being perfect for the camera. So the common thread among all of those is that there's a belief that you have to be something. You have to become something. You have to act something. Because if you don't act that something, then your real self will show. And your real self is not enough. It's not enough to impress the job interviewer. It's not enough to put on a good piano recital. It's not enough to make that guy or make that girl like you. It's not enough to do well socializing. It's not enough. That is like the common thread. It's so bright. It's like almost December in New York, and I'm literally about to get freaking sunburned. How's this? That's honestly a little bit better, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, adjusting that shade was probably a good idea. I mean, it was so bright. But performing is the common thread in all those examples. And I actually think performing is not the act of performing, because I believe the act of performing is a secondary motivation. It's a secondary reaction. It's I wouldn't quite say it's an emotion, but it's a secondary response to something underneath, to a primary thought, belief, emotion. So trying to appear perfect is, in IFS, a protective response. Because at a very young age, you learn. Like, I think it depends for most people, but I feel like these responses are so hardwired. It comes from like a pre-verbal time, like a time when you couldn't speak. Also known as a time that you can't quite remember. It's like you've always felt this way. So I feel like this protective strategy that came online because a part of you vulnerably felt so not enough, and vulnerably felt like, I'll never be loved. I'll never be enough. At that young age, it's probably, I'm not enough to survive. I'm not enough to get love and nourishment and care from these people that I need. I'm not enough. You know, it could feel terrifying. Like I'm going to be ostracized. I'm going to be exiled. I'm going to be, which is funny. I say exiled because you end up exiling that aspect of yourself that feels not enough. Because if you exile that from how you feel, a protective response will come online. Well, let me back up a second. I believe that protective responses, like this need to be perfect, come online and they actively do the exiling of the fragments of yourself that have the capacity to have deep negative beliefs and deep negative feelings, like feeling truly not enough as you are. The protective part comes on and says, I can't, this is too destabilizing for life. These feelings are too overwhelming. There's a few others that aren't coming to mind. But those are like, that's the crux of it. This protective part says we can't deal with these feelings, and I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that we don't experience these systems, or that our system doesn't experience these feelings. So the protective part makes the decision in that exact moment when maybe it was a little too overwhelming, when there was a moment where the straw broke the camel's back, and it says, no more. We're exiling that. We're not going to think about that anymore. We're going to thrust it away. We're going to pretend like these feelings of not being enough don't exist. And in order to really accomplish that goal, so we never feel those feelings again, I'm going to do everything I can to move us in the opposite direction. And these strategies can range. It could be numbing strategies. It could be complete and total withdrawal, saying, fuck the system, I'm not going to work with the system, it's too threatening. Or it could be like the anxious strategy, which is the anxious attached strategy is what I'm trying to say. The protective part develops an anxiously attached strategy. It says no. In order to maintain this connection, to not be so worthless, I'm just going to become perfect. I'm going to succeed at everything. I'm going to be perfect. I'm going to be as attractive as I can. I'm going to acquire as many accolades as I can. I'm going to have the best job. I'm going to get the best social skills. I'm going to do everything to create the perfect shield around this vulnerable part of me, so that I become impenetrable. And we're just going to pretend like it doesn't exist, because I'm going to be perfect and no one's going to know. No, it's going to be our little dirty secret no one's going to know how we really feel about ourselves deep down inside. And these protective parts just go on to run our lives in astonishing ways. Those examples I gave of are just some manifestations of the fundamental protective belief of needing to be more, needing to be perfect. It can manifest as augmenting the way you look. It can manifest as getting the perfect job. It can manifest as amassing an unbelievable amount of wealth. It can manifest as becoming so, or trying to acquire the most slick, smooth social skills. It can manifest as becoming really good at something. And if you follow the reasoning on every one of those, hopefully at the end of the line, the protector hopes, hopefully we can finally get to a place where we don't feel worthless anymore, where we're actually worthy, where we actually can just be. And once we get to that place, we can stop experiencing these feelings that have been running our life. So, when you think of it like that, you cannot help but just have a lot of compassion for this protective part of you. It would do anything for you. It would literally do anything. And it's that same mechanism, the vulnerable part of you with the capacity for the deepest, darkest beliefs about yourself and emotions and feelings. It's the same mechanism of that overwhelming your system, a protective part making the strategic choice to take on a role to ensure you never feel that again, that happens for every protective part of you. And protective parts can have many different jobs to keep feelings at bay. Like, I think it was last night or 2 nights ago, I talked about how fundamentally, really at the deepest level, there's no difference. There's no difference between an anxiously attached person and an avoidantly attached person. Yes, in the way that the secondary motivations come out, where on one hand, someone is anxious and that's how they deal with their raw feelings. And on the other hand, someone's avoidant and that's how they deal with their raw feelings. Or someone numbs. I mean, I guess that's more avoidant. What other choices do you have? How does this protective part make the choice at such a young age, at a pre-verbal age, and how it's going to carry itself for the rest of your life because it cares about you? This protective part. You know, what do we expect? And so, to bring us all the way back to the beginning, I'm working on just simply pressing record and just being. Zero script. And I mean zero. I just had lunch. I put my plate in the dishwasher. I set up my camera, which takes me like 5 minutes. And I just pressed record. Is that enough? It feels really good. It feels very, very good to just be. To let the silence come. To talk about this fucking sun. It's like actually burning me. And just let my mind wander. Very bright again. So, I guess something that comes up in my system as I go about this strategy of not trying to be perfect, of just being. Something that comes up is it's the same fundamental protector belief. Is it enough for me to just speak aloud? Enough for what? Is it enough for me? Is it enough because I just simply like it? Is it enough to gain an audience? I don't know. Really, I don't know the answers to these questions. What I believe at the moment is I believe so many people are starving for connection, real connection. Connection where they feel witnessed. Connection where they feel accepted for who they are, the more they show of themselves. Unconditionally accepted. Connection where they feel like they're held in unconditional positive regard. Where they know yeah. And I feel like people are starving for that. And you know, I'm no exception to that. I feel like I've gotten to a place where my mindset has aged enough and I've gotten the skills and the perspectives, like what I just shared with you for the first like 10, 15 minutes or whatever, where I can make sense of a lot of these things. And I'm very in touch with myself and my parts, and I have a relationship with my parts. And if I don't, then I'm actively trying to build relationships with my parts and love them unconditionally. But I forget what I was saying. I think that I've gotten to a place where I've surrounded myself with like-minded people. And like-minded in the sense of things aren't superficial between us. I think where we all feel, for the most part, unconditionally accepted for who we are. Even my current relationship, we work very hard at creating an environment like that for each other. But of course, all of this starts with oneself. Truly cultivating the relationship, the positive relationship with oneself. Exploring the parts of us that are up and running our lives. Understanding what they're protecting us from. Understanding the parts of us that are underneath them and holding immense pain. Some people call it the root. So, I don't want to end the video now, kind of mid-thought. I don't think there's too much more to say. I'll just stand and hang around and see if there's anything else up here that is coming to mind. This is reminding me of, you know, I keep talking, when I was talking earlier about the perfectionistic protective part, trying to guard against feeling truly unworthy, unlovable, broken. It manifests in many different ways in life. And this is a major part that I've become aware of in the last couple of weeks. that I'm actively working with, and I'm actively getting to know, and I'm actively building a relationship with. And I can feel this protective part of me has a hold on other domains in my life as well. And I keep saying the piano performance because I, like, recreationally, I play piano. And I have a piano recital coming up. It's in 10 weeks, I believe. Today's November 19th. And it's January 30th or something. And I've been playing the piano for fun for 18 years. It's not my profession. It's just, I love it. I love it. And I'm good at it. And I'm good at it because I've stuck with it. And I also believe I have a natural inclination towards being able to imbue a lot of my soul into what I do. And I believe I've been able to imbue more of my soul the more I've gotten in touch with my body and let those protective parts of me relax and say, you know, it's not dumb to show your soul. It's not dumb to just be. And to play and get lost in the music or whatever. I'm like playing this game. So I have like a filter in front of my camera. It's a filter. It's basically like something you could twist, and it has like polarizing lines up into the side. And so if it's like this, then you could see perfectly through, but then you start twisting the lid, and then all the polarizing lines get darker and darker. So that's what this does. But it's like, it's one of those like days. It's like a Florida day. But I was talking about the piano because I have my piano recital in like 2 months. And I believe fundamentally the nerves that I get on stage, the nerves that anyone gets on stage, it probably stems from the same thing. I mean, I can't say with certainty what other people experience, but it makes sense in my system. The same feeling of, am I going to mess up in front of the camera? I'm not going to be perfect in front of the camera, is fundamentally the same feeling of, I'm going to mess up in front of this audience with the piano. I'm not going to be perfect. It's like, what will happen if I do mess up? What will happen if midway through the song I forget the song? What'll happen? I'll probably feel humiliated. I'll probably feel shameful. It's like there's a part of me that won't even let me get that far because it's too painful. Well, what if that's just being human? And could it be the very fact, I mean, I know it is, but just speaking out loud right now, could it be the very fact that running away from that feeling and disowning the part of you that has the capacity to feel those deep feelings of shame and humiliation and unworthiness, could it be the exiling of that part, the non-invitation of that part back into the system that perpetuates the protective part doing the job in the first place? The protective part that gets strung out and forgets the song in the first place? I mean, if you feel it, I don't believe the goal is to get to a place where you say, I don't care what the audience thinks of me. I don't care what this person thinks of me. I don't care if that person doesn't like me. I don't believe that's the goal. I believe if the goal is to get to a place where you don't care, I believe that is a protective strategy itself. Why does a part of you want to not care? So you don't have to feel that pain. So you don't have to feel the pain. That's why you don't want to care. You want to just sever the connection with everyone so you don't have to feel that again? No, I don't believe that. I believe the goal is not to not care what the audience in the piano recital thinks. I believe the goal is to say, I know I will be okay, regardless of what the audience of the piano recital thinks. Despite what they think, I know I'll be able to endure these feelings. I know I'll be able to withstand them. I know the part of me, the young part of me, the innocent part of me that holds the terror and the shame and the humiliation and the capacity for those feelings. I know I'll be able to drop in and I'll be able to hold that part of me while it feels everything. I know I'll be okay. Whatever happens, I'll be okay. Not from a place of macho-ness or stoicism or nihilism, just from a place of a higher perspective where you have the relationship with your parts and you say, I'll always love you. You can always feel what you need to feel with me, and I'm not going to leave you. I believe that if protective parts saw that, secondary motivations, strategies, if your protective parts saw that in action, I think they'd relax. That's IFS. That's what IFS is. That's what I did. That's what I'm so passionate about. That's what I did for years. So that's it. That was, again, totally unscripted. I don't know how we got here, but I'm really honored to be sharing all of this with all of you. And for whoever makes it this far, I'm very humbled, and I hope that you get something out of it. That's truly my goal. So, like I said, I don't have my phone on me, but it's November 19th. It's like a week and a day before Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is my favorite holiday, by far. Halloween, not so much, because it's not quite the holiday season. You don't feel the festivities in the air. Thanksgiving, because it's cold and your family is together and you just have good food and you're with the people you love. At least that's what it is for me, and that's why I love it. And you still have Christmas or Hanukkah, whatever it is, but for me, Christmas and New Year's, and it's the most beautiful time of the year. It's just like right now, this exact moment, right now, is the best time of the year for me. I adore it. It's my favorite. Parts of me are already sad that we're almost on the other side of it. It's just like, I just wants to wrap up these or put these days in a jar and just keep it forever. But I guess that's what makes it so sweet every year when it comes. Don't even get me started about January 1st. January 1st is the worst day of the year every year by far, because it's like, damn, I gotta wait that much longer until Thanksgiving and Christmas again. Damn it. It's like, I guess my birthday is in a couple months after that, but I don't even celebrate my birthday. I don't even care. And plus I'm getting old. Like I'm almost 28. I'm gonna turn 28 this year, or I guess next year. That's pretty crazy to me. Pretty crazy. But that is a topic for another video. Anyway, I should get out of here. Thank you for tuning in. And again, feel free to subscribe if you liked it. And I will see you, I think, tomorrow. I think I'll be able to post tomorrow too. I'm flying back to the West Coast. If you saw my video yesterday, you'll know what my Hawaiian shirt was for. But yeah, thank you for tuning in.